It's always nice when you can avoid mistakes and save a lot of time, energy, effort, and more importantly, pain. So in this video, let's talk about 6 marketing mistakes that you can avoid. Hey, I'm Spencer Powell. I'm the CEO over at Builder Funnel, and our agency has helped our customers generate well over $150 million of sales of remodeling and custom home projects. This channel, Builder Funnel TV, is where we share what's worked for us in hopes that it works for you and you can grow your business. All right, so let's dive into some of these mistakes and things that we want to avoid. So the first one is offering the wrong kind of content. So when you think about your website, your social media, your blogs, your email, it's all content. Your videos, if you do podcasts, all of that falls under that content bucket. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money to build up a library of content. And if you have created a bunch of it, but it's the wrong kind, that can be a colossal waste of time, energy, and money. And so you want to think about your ideal audience, what they care about, what they're searching for, what's going to inspire them to take action, and then go ahead and create that. So you really want to do a good job of avoiding creating the wrong content. So if you're a high-end remodeler, you don't want to be talking about all the things that maybe somebody that's doing a lot of quick, smaller projects or handyman projects. Vice versa. You know, if you are talking about and speaking to somebody that's just looking to like replace countertops and maybe redo their floors versus somebody that's going to like knock down walls, redo the whole first floor, like you're going to be talking about different things. So you want to make sure you're staying laser focused on who you want to attract and avoiding talking about the content that doesn't service you and your business. The next thing is ignoring customer responses, customer reviews, customer feedback. So a lot of people wonder, like, what do I do when I get a bad Google review or Facebook review or Angie's List or House or wherever the review shows up? And the best thing you can do is just respond to it. Sometimes it's total garbage, it's just a fake review, and you just want to address it anyway. Usually the best way to do that is just to say, hey, we don't have any record of ever working with you, but please reach out. If we made a mistake, we'd love to correct it. That way, anyone that comes by and reads it, they're like, oh, this was just a fake review, because most of the time that person won't respond and it was just garbage to begin with. Could have even been a competitor just writing that review. But if there is a legitimate poor review, it actually looks very proactive in terms of you reaching out and wanting to solve that problem and addressing it publicly. And people can see that, right? So every company is going to make mistakes. No company out there is perfect. Stuff happens, stuff comes up. And so if you do get that review, what people want to see is how do you respond to that and how do you move forward from that point? And so you always want to respond and you want to avoid ignoring those customer reviews. The other thing that you could do to make a big mistake would be to avoid social media. And this is a tough one because I hear from a lot of business owners, hey, I'm not really on social media personally, I don't use it, I just don't get it, I don't like it, whatever the comment is. And that's okay. And we can still utilize social media for our business, and we can create the brand pages, and we can share projects, and we can share other things. You don't necessarily have to include personal details, personal life into that. You don't even have to spend a lot of time on social media, but we definitely shouldn't ignore it because it's becoming more and more of a critical piece in terms of succeeding online when you look at all the different buckets and areas that you want to be investing time and money in terms of digital marketing. The fourth one is not having a growth marketing strategy. And so if you think about scaling your business from 2 million to 3 million or 3 million to 4 million, you're increasing the lead flow, you're increasing your sales process so that you can market more, sell more, and then actually deliver more in the same 12-month span. But the thing is about remodeling and custom homes is that if you go from 2.5 to 4 or 5 million, now you have to feed that machine. You have to feed a $5 million machine versus a 2.5. And so maybe you always got 2.5 million on word of mouth and referrals, and then you were able to scale up based on demand and a little bit more marketing. But now maybe demand softens a little bit you need to maintain that level of revenue. And so it's going to take more marketing. It's going to take a more dialed in sales process. You're going to have to do more follow-up. You'll have to call everybody back. You'll have to follow up with the people that emailed in. It won't be always like, hey, people are just, knocking down the doors and they want to do remodeling projects like it's been the last couple of years. And so you want to think about, how do I layer on more marketing to feed a bigger machine? And then how do I layer on different sales processes, different follow-ups, who's owning that function, and how are they tackling all of the leads so that we can get more out of what marketing is producing. So thinking about that growth strategy, as you scale up your ability to deliver more, you also have to scale up your ability to generate more on a consistent basis. The other thing you definitely want to avoid is having a poor website design. Still to this day, I see a lot of sites that get built on Wix or Weebly or Squarespace. Some of them look pretty good because there's some great templates, but a lot of them you can tell. And honestly, a lot of those web designs that look poor is just because of the photography, and you haven't maybe worked with a professional photographer to actually get that done. And it can be a hurdle. It can be tricky to get those done, but it's so critical to have somebody take professional photos so that you can utilize those on your website and on your social media. But if somebody comes to your website and they're not getting the vibes that they want, if you don't look like the professional company that they want to work with, it's going to be really tough to actually generate leads from that site. So you're going to need to be able to drive people to the site and drive the right people there. But once they get there, that's kind of their first impression. And so you want to invest in a really professional looking, modern design. You want to make sure it is a good representation of who you are and also the type of work that you do. And if it doesn't do those things, then you're probably turning away and turning off some potential customers. And then the final thing to avoid is forgetting to measure your efforts, or just not measuring your marketing efforts. Sometimes it feels a little bit tedious to try to figure out what all the different marketing channels that you're using and which ones are producing leads, and then of those leads, which ones actually turn into customers. But that's where the rubber hits the road. Like, if you know out of all of your channels which ones are producing the most customers and the best customers, you have some really strong indicators of where you should continue to invest in your marketing budget. And so when you think back to the other one we talked about, a growth marketing strategy, you can say, gosh, from 2.5 to 3.5 million, we got some really nice extra projects out of this channel. I wonder if we haven't maximized that channel. Let's double down on that effort and see if that will take us to the next level. So make sure that you're measuring your marketing efforts. All right, so there you have it. There's several things to avoid when it comes to marketing. Hopefully that'll save you a lot of lost time and energy and a lot of pain. And we will see you next time here on Builder Funnel TV.